There comes a moment in life when your heart feels exhausted, tired of chasing people, tired of trying to prove your worth, tired of holding on to connections that no longer hold on to you. And in that moment, you begin to question everything. Why is this happening? Why are people leaving? Why does it hurt so much? But what if I told you this isn't abandonment, this is alignment, this isn't loss, this is protection, this is alignment, this is not loss, this is protection, this is Allah working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Let me share with you 5 powerful truths that can change the way you see your pain forever. One of the most painful realizations in life is understanding that not everyone you lose is truly a loss. At first, it feels like something has been taken away from you. You feel the emptiness, the silence, the absence of someone you once cared deeply about. You replay conversations, memories, and moments, trying to understand where things went wrong. Your heart urges you to hold on, to fix things, to chase after what is slipping away. But what you often fail to realize in that emotional storm is that sometimes the very people you are trying so hard to keep are the ones Allah is gently removing for your own protection. Human nature is deeply attached to familiarity. Even if a relationship is unhealthy, even if it drains your energy, even if it slowly breaks your spirit, you may still cling to it simply because it is known to you. The fear of losing someone can feel greater than the pain of keeping them. So you chase. You send messages that go unanswered. You try harder, give more, and lower your standards just to keep someone in your life. But in doing so, you are ignoring a powerful truth. If someone is meant to stay, you will not have to beg for their presence. When Allah removes someone from your life, it is never random. There is always wisdom behind it, even if you cannot immediately understand it. You might be looking at their good qualities, remembering the laughter, the connection, the moments that made you feel alive. But Allah sees the full picture. He sees what you do not see. He knows the intentions hidden in their heart, the future harm they might bring, the ways they could have hurt you if they had stayed longer. While you are focused on what you are losing, Allah is focused on what you are being saved from. Sometimes the greatest protection comes in the form of separation. It does not always feel like mercy in the moment. In fact, it can feel like heartbreak, confusion, and even injustice. You may ask yourself why someone you cared about had to leave. You may feel rejected as if you were not enough. But the truth is, their temperature is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of Allah's care for you. He removes what is not good for you, even when your heart is still attached to it. Chasing people who are leaving only delays your healing and distances you from what is truly meant for you. As every moment you spend trying to force someone to stay is a moment you are not investing in your own growth, your own peace, and your own relationship with Allah. You cannot force hearts to love you, and you cannot convince someone to value you if they have already chosen not to. The more you chase, the more you lose yourself in the process. There is a quiet strength in letting go. It is not easy, and it does not happen overnight. But when you begin to trust that Allah's plan is better than your desires, something shifts inside you. You start to realize that what left your life was not meant to complete you. It was not meant to define your happiness. And more importantly, it was not meant to stay. In time, you will look back and see the truth more clearly. You will recognize how certain people were not aligned with your values, your peace, or your future. You will see how their absence created space for something better, something healthier, something more sincere. What once felt like a painful loss will begin to feel like a necessary release. So instead of chasing people who walk away, learn to trust the one who is guiding them out. Have faith that every removal has a purpose, every ending carries wisdom, and every closed door is making way for something far greater. Be what you lose in people, you gain in protection, clarity, and closeness to Allah, and that is never a loss. There are moments in life when you feel overwhelmed by confusion, heartbreak, and unanswered questions. You look at a situation and try to make sense of it with the limited understanding you have. You wonder why something didn't work out, why someone changed, or why a door closed when you were so sure it was right for you. In those moments, it is easy to feel lost because you are only seeing what is in front of you. But what you must remember is that Allah sees what you cannot see, and His knowledge extends far beyond your present emotions and limited perspective. As human beings, we are naturally inclined to judge situations based on what is visible. We see actions, words, and outcomes, and we build our understanding around them. If someone leaves, we feel abandoned. If someone leaves, we feel abandoned. If something ends, we assume it was bad for us. But the reality is much deeper than what appears on the surface. There are layers of wisdom, protection, and unseen details that only Allah is fully aware of. While you are grieving over what you lost, Allah may be protecting you from something that would have caused you far greater pain in the future. Just think about how often people present only a part of themselves to the world. You may see kindness, affection, or sincerity, but you cannot see what is hidden in their heart. You cannot see their intentions, their future actions, or the impact they might have on your life months or years from now. Allah, however, sees it all with perfect clarity. He knows what someone is capable of, what they carry within them, and how their presence in your life might affect your journey. So when He removes someone or distances you from a situation, it is not without reason. It is a form of protection that you may not recognize until much later. There are also moments when you feel delayed, as if life is not moving in the direction you hoped for. You might see others achieving what you desire while you are left waiting. It can make you question your worth or feel as though you're being overlooked. But what you do not see is the timing that Allah has perfectly arranged for you. What is delayed is not denied, it is being prepared in a way that aligns with your growth, your readiness, and your long-term well-being. If something came to you too early, it might not benefit you in the way it is meant to. Sometimes Allah removes certain opportunities or relationships not because they are entirely bad, but because they are not the best for you. As there is something better written for you, something that matches your future more perfectly. But in order to receive it, you must first be separated from what would have held you back. This separation can feel painful because you are emotionally attached, but it is often the very step that leads you to something greater. It is also important to understand that your vision is limited to the present moment, while Allah's knowledge encompasses your entire life and beyond. You are making judgments based on a chapter while He is writing the entire story. What seems like a loss today may turn out to be a blessing tomorrow. What feels like a setback may actually be setting you on the right path. This is why trust is so essential. Without trust, every hardship feels like punishment. But with trust, even the most difficult moments begin to carry meaning and purpose. Learning to accept that Allah sees what you cannot see brings a deep sense of peace. It allows you to let go of the need to control every outcome and understand every detail. You begin to realize that not everything is meant to make sense immediately. Some things are meant to be trusted, even when they hurt. In the end, there is a quiet comfort in knowing that you are not navigating life alone. Every step you take, every situation you face is under the knowledge and wisdom of Allah. He is aware of your struggles, your intentions, and your heart. And even when you feel like things are falling apart, there is a plan unfolding behind the scenes that is far more complete and far more beautiful than anything you could have imagined on your own. One of the deepest emotional struggles a person faces is tying their sense of worth to how others treat them. When someone stays, you feel valued. When someone leaves, you begin to question yourself. You wonder if you were not enough, if you said something wrong, or if you could have done more to make them stay. This way of thinking slowly erodes your confidence because it places your value in the hands of people whose feelings, decisions, and actions are constantly changing. The truth, however, is far more liberating and powerful. Your worth is not defined by who stays in your life and who walks away. From a young age, many people are conditioned to seek validation from others. Compliments, attention, and acceptance become the measuring tools for self-worth. Over time, this creates a dangerous dependency where your happiness rises and falls based on how others perceive you. If someone appreciates you, you feel important. If they ignore you or leave, you feel insignificant. But this is an unstable foundation because human approval is never constant. People change, priorities shift, and emotions fluctuate. If your worth is built on something so fragile, it will always feel uncertain. What you must understand is that your value was never meant to be determined by people. Your worth comes from Allah, the one who created you with intention, purpose, and care. You were not created randomly, nor were you made to chase the approval of others. You were created with dignity that no human being has the authority to take away. When someone fails to recognize your value, it does not mean you are lacking. It simply means they are unable to see what is already there. Often when someone leaves, the immediate reaction is to internalize the loss. You begin to believe that their departure is a reflection of your shortcomings. You replay memories, searching for mistakes, convincing yourself that if you had been better, they would have stayed. But this way of thinking is both unfair and inaccurate. People leave for many reasons, most of which have little to do with your true worth. Sometimes they are not ready for the kind of connection you offer. Sometimes they have their own struggles, fears, or limitations, and sometimes they are simply not meant to be a part of your journey. Lowering yourself to keep someone in your life is one of the most damaging things you can do. When you start begging for attention, accepting less than you deserve, or changing who you are just to be accepted, you begin to lose sight of your own value. You trade your self-respect for temporary validation, not realizing that true connection never requires you to diminish yourself. The right people will not need to be convinced to stay. They will recognize your worth, naturally respect you. Their presence and value you without hesitation. There is a powerful shift that happens when you begin to understand your worth from a deeper perspective. Instead of asking, why did they leave me? You begin to ask, why was I trying to hold on to someone who could not see my value? This shift moves you from a place of insecurity to a place of self-awareness. You stop chasing approval and start protecting your peace. Knowing your worth does not mean you will never feel hurt when someone leaves. You are human and emotions are a natural part of life. But it changes how you process that pain. Instead of seeing it as proof that you are not enough, you begin to see it as confirmation that they were not aligned with you. You understand that your value remains intact, regardless of who chooses to stay or go. In the end, your worth is sabbated, unchanging, and deeply rooted in how Allah created you. No rejection can reduce it, no absence can erase it, no absence can erase it, and no opinion can redefine it. When you truly believe this, you stop chasing people to feel complete, because you realize you were never incomplete to begin with. Patience is often misunderstood as simply waiting, as if it means doing nothing while life passes by. But in reality, patience is one of the most active and powerful states a person can be in. It is the ability to remain grounded when everything around you feels uncertain, to hold on to faith when results are not visible, and to trust that something meaningful is unfolding even when you cannot yet see it. This is where the real transformation begins, because the moments that feel the most still on the outside are often the moments of the greatest movement behind the scenes. When you are going through a difficult phase, it can feel like nothing is changing. Days pass and your situation looks the same. You make dua, you hope for relief, yet the answer does not come in the way or time you expect. This can create a sense of frustration and even doubt. You start to wonder if your efforts matter or if your prayers are being heard. But what you do not see is that patience is not empty time. It is a process of preparation. While you are waiting, Allah is shaping you, strengthening you, and aligning circumstances in ways that are necessary for what is to come. Think of how something grows beneath the surface before it ever becomes visible. A seed is placed in the soil, and for a long time there is no sign of change above the ground. If you were to judge only by what you can see, you might assume nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are forming, strength is building, and the foundation is being set. Without this hidden stage, the plant would never be able to stand once it emerges. In the same way, your period of waiting is not a delay without purpose. It is the stage where your foundation is being built. Sometimes the reason things are not happening immediately is because you are not yet ready for them. This is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom in divine timing. If something arrives before you are prepared, it may overwhelm you or fail to bring the benefit it was meant to. Through patience, you are being developed into the person who can handle what you are asking for. Your character is being refined, your perspective is being deepened, and your reliance on Allah is being strengthened. There is also a unique closeness to Allah that comes through patience. When everything is going well, it is easy to feel content and distracted. But when you are waiting, when you are in need, your heart turns more sincerely towards Him. You make dua. With more hadur, you reflect more deeply, and you begin to understand your dependence on Him in a more meaningful way. This connection is a gift in itself, even if it comes through difficulty. It is important to realize that just because you cannot see progress does not mean there is no progress. Not all change is visible immediately. Some of the most important shifts happen internally, within your heart and mind. You may be growing in ways you do not recognize. Yet you may be becoming stronger, more resilient, and more aware without even realizing it. And when the right moment comes, everything that has been building quietly will begin to appear all at once. Patience also protects you from making rushed decisions. When you feel desperate for something to change, you might be tempted to take shortcuts or accept less than what is right for you. But patience creates space for clarity. It allows you to step back, to reflect, and to wait for what is truly meant for you instead of settling for what is immediately available. In the end, patience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about trusting the process with a qalbin that believes in Allah's wisdom. It is about knowing that every delay carries purpose, every moment of intistara holds meaning, and every unanswered prayer is part of a larger plan. When you embrace patience in this way, you begin to see that the waiting itself is not empty. It is where the miracle is being prepared quietly and perfectly until the time is right for it to appear in your life. There is a deep sense of peace that comes when you truly accept that what is meant for you will never miss you, will never miss you, will never miss you. This idea is simple to understand, yet difficult to fully embrace, especially when emotions are involved. When you want something so badly, a person, an opportunity, a specific outcome, it is natural to feel anxious about losing it. You begin to overthink, to chase, to try to control every detail, fearing that if you do not act, it might slip away. But this mindset comes from forgetting a powerful truth. What Allah has written for you is already yours, and no force in this world can take it away. Much of the stress people experience comes from trying to control what is beyond their control. You may try to hold on to people by saying the right words, acting a certain way, or constantly proving your value. You may is ready to force opportunities by rushing into decisions or pushing doors that are not opening. In all of this, there is an underlying fear that if you do not try hard enough, you will lose something important. But what is truly meant for you does not require you to exhaust yourself in this way. It does not demand that you lose your peace or compromise your dignity. When something is written for you, it will come to you in ways you could not have planned. It may arrive at a time you did not expect, through circumstances you did not imagine, and in a form that is even better than what you originally desired. This is because Allah's plan is not limited by your understanding. You may have a specific picture in your mind of what is best for you, but Allah sees the bigger picture. He knows what will truly benefit you, what will bring you lasting peace, and what will align with your future in the best way. On the other hand, when something is not meant for you, no amount of chasing can make it stay. You can put in all your effort, invest your emotions, and try to force things to work, but if it is not written for you, it will eventually slip away, and when it does, it often leaves behind exhaustion, disappointment, and confusion. This is why learning to let go is so important. Letting go is not giving up. It is trusting that if something is truly yours, it will not require force to remain in your life. This belief also frees you from the constant fear of missing out. You no longer feel the need to compare your journey with others or rush your timeline. You understand that everyone's path is different, and what is meant for someone else may not be meant for you. Instead of feeling anxious about what you do not have, you begin to focus on what is being prepared for you. You replace fear with trust, and that shift changes everything. Trusting that what is meant for you will never miss you. Will never miss you does not mean you stop making effort. You still strive, you still work hard, and you still make sincere intentions. But your effort comes from a place of peace rather than desperation. You do your part and leave the outcome to Allah, knowing that He will bring what is best for you at the right time. This balance between effort and trust is what brings true contentment. There is also a sense of relief in knowing that you are not responsible for holding everything together. You do not have to chase every opportunity or cling to every person out of fear. You can walk through life with a qalbam that is calm, knowing that whatever is meant for you is already on its way, even if you cannot see it yet. In the end, this belief transforms how you experience life. It allows you to let go of what leaves without feeling broken, because you understand it was never yours to keep. It allows you to wait without feeling anxious, because you trust that what is yours cannot be delayed beyond what is best for you. And most importantly, it brings you closer to Allah, because you begin to rely on His plan more than your own desires. When you reach this level of trust, you realize that nothing meant for you will ever pass you by, and nothing that passes you by was ever meant to stay.